Hello guys, welcome back to Our Vision Farm. We got lots of work to do today, starting with getting some mealworms shipped to a customer. I advertised some little mealworm starter kits here around to my local customers here in Florida, and I had one person reach out. They kind of live a little bit too far away, so we decided we'd ship them some mealworms. So I'm selling these little mealworm starter kits, which include 30 mealworms and then a couple of the beetles and the pupa as well, for anybody interested in raising their own mealworms for their own pets or chickens or whatever animals they have. So I cleaned these out yesterday. I took out all of the frass and used that in my garden to fertilize. So what I thought I'd do, this is my first time shipping them. I want to make the mealworms as comfortable and have as much oxygen as possible for shipment, even though this is going to a nearby city in Florida, so it's not going to be too long of a trip, but I'm still going to do priority mail. And I have these leftover cloth baggies from Christmas orders, so I thought I'd use this because this is nice and breathable and it'll get good airflow in there. So I'm going to put the mealworms and the bugs, the actual beetles, and everything in here with some of the wheat bran and then some oats in there. I'm just going to scoop it up from there, and I'll toss in a couple pieces of carrot as well. So that is how I plan on shipping it. I'm doing the bigger box, this size box, because I'm also including an extra baggie of the wheat bran, so that when they get their mealworms in the mail, they can set them up with at least an inch or two of wheat bran at the bottom until they can go ahead and purchase their own wheat bran and have some to continue on raising their colony. But just wanted to give them like a little head start so they can set them up in their little containers as soon as they receive them at home. Our mealworms have been doing really good. They've been multiplying. I've been feeding them to the chickens. But we have all the stages in here. I choose not to separate the stages. I know that some people do, but I just keep the beetles with the larvae and everything all together. But that is how I'm planning on shipping it, and I'll show you once the box is done how it looks. Alright, just scooped up a couple little handfuls of the wheat bran mixed with the oats in there. There's probably already some worms in there, so they're gonna get more than 30, but I told them I would include at least 30 mealworms. So I'm just gonna hand pick them out, all different sizes. That way they can get a good head start on their little colony, and they don't have to wait until the mealworms turn into a pupa and then a beetle before they lay eggs. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just hand picking them, and then at the end I will hand pick a couple beetles, and I'll find a couple pupa as well and toss those in there. Alright, I think that's a nice little size pouch. I got all kinds of mealworms in there, different sizes, different stages, about 4 pupas and a couple live beetles in there. So I cut up these little pieces of carrots. That should be enough to feed them for the very short trip to the customer. This has drawstrings, so I'm gonna tie this up. Let me put this camera down. Hopefully that'll be enough. I'm gonna tie it as tight as I can so that they don't escape. Tie it super tight. I don't want them to escape at all. Let me make sure there's no air gaps. So they should not be able to fit through there at all. And then in the future, if I have a lot more orders for shipping, I think I will definitely buy some more cloth bags like this. These were just left over from Christmas order, so it didn't cost me anything extra. So I'm going to place them in here. I put some little packing peanuts, and I'm going to fill up a bag of wheat germ, and that'll take up the rest of the space. I definitely want it to be snug so that it's not tossing around everywhere. So the bag of the wheat bran will definitely help with that, and I'll probably add some more packing peanuts. I punched a little bit of air holes. It's probably not even needed, because this is such a breathable material. But just in case, to be safe, I punctured a couple air holes through the bottom and around the edges just to help. But I expect them to be perfectly fine, and we have nice cool weather here in Florida, so that is a perfect time to ship the mealworms. When I first ordered mealworms, I ordered them in the summertime and forgot them, or didn't realize that they were in our postal box. So they stayed in there for a while with really hot weather, and that is when I first started my colony, and I had ordered about 25 from an online vendor. And somehow they still survived. They didn't die from the heat, but I think heat is more of a problem than cold for mealworms, because you can actually store mealworms in the refrigerator and it just stunts their growth. It doesn't kill them as long as it's not too cold. These last freezing nights, I keep my mealworms right here in this screened-in patio. So the last couple nights that we had freezes here in Florida, I did bring them indoors so that they didn't die. But I think hot weather is what really can kill the mealworms, especially at their larvae stage, and that's why they say don't keep the mealworms in direct sunlight. So I'm going to pack up the wheat bran in here, and I'll show you what it looks like then. Alright, that's all packed in there. I packed them a big bag of extra wheat germ or wheat bran. Here is the mealworms in their little sack, and I filled in the rest of the empty spots with more packing peanuts. I also printed them a sheet of basically everything I've learned from raising mealworms, from how to prepare the area they're going to keep them in, to feeding, cleaning the bins they keep them in, and how they reproduce. Just some little fun facts and what I've learned, at least in my journey of raising mealworms. So that will help them out if they are beginners. But I was told they were raising them for their quails, and quails love mealworms just like any other type of reptiles. The chickens love them. I feed them to our meat chickens, and we've actually fed them to the parakeets, and they like them as well. So definitely a good little project if you have pet animals or farm animals. It's a good protein source for them. I've even heard of humans eating them. I have not tried them my own self, but that could be something to think about in the future as well. So I'm going to wrap this up and put the label on it and get it shipped off as soon as possible. Shipping it on a Tuesday so that they're not sitting over the weekend in the post office. So, and this is priority mail, so it should probably get to them in the most of 2 days, if even that. So just wanted to show you guys how we were shipping our little starter kits for mealworms. Hope you guys enjoyed that video, and we'll see you in the next one. We are working on a couple projects today on the farm, so I will most likely make a separate video on our progress with that. See you guys later. Thanks for watching.